We are ready. We are live once again. All right, Dr. Alim El-Bey is in the building, and y'all know who we have today. Once again, we got the master student, Brother Crumb, the snatcher. And he's going to be snatching some of that good old Illuminati information and giving it to you like he's Robin Hood. All right, so today we got 6G, and it's going to be on surveillance as well as also bioconvergence. So let's get into that topic. Brother Crumb, give it to us.
Good doctor, I want to give you high honors and perfect praise. I am humbled, I'm honored, I'm grateful as always to be here. I am the master student. For those who know me, the good doctor is the master teacher. So I just want to make sure that to put some respect on his name, I stand on the shoulders of giants. So just want to put that out there to the family, put some respect on the doctor's name. I'm humbled and grateful to being on the show. Just really quickly, I want to let the family know 404 day, the zip code in Atlanta is 404, to whom it may concern. I'll be doing a conscious kickball event that day, me versus Palmetto, hosted by Ugly Money Nietzsche. He's I'm not going to say ghetto, I'm going to say hood. He's the hood Kevin Samuels. So if you know, you know. You can go to 2raw4tv.tv to get the tickets or to be a part of the team. There's only one slot left for my team, only one slot left. But if you want to be on my team, 2raw4tv.tv. If you want to get a ticket, 2raw4tv.tv, tap all the way in. So with that said, 6G bioconvergence, which is really 6G surveillance. The only reason they want to tap you into the machine is because they want to know every move you make, every breath you take, they'll be watching you. So
That's right.
So this is the 6G, and this is how we found out the public. The 6G is not Freudian slip, it's a Trumpian slip. The Teflon Don admits that 6G bioconvergence will be under the skin surveillance. He said it from his own mouth. Good doctor, shall I play the video?
Please do.
Thank you.
So we're into 6G now. I just finished 5G. I was a leader on 5G getting that done. And now they're up to 6.
Let's do it again.
What does that do? Give you a little bit deeper view into somebody's skin? See how perfect it is? I like the cameras the old days. So they just had a nice feature. Now they cover every little. Let's see, Michael, you're in good shape. You're not gonna. But I tell you, it's the 6 is coming, huh?
It's coming.
Does it ever end? And what happens? You'll be into 7, right? Before 6 gets old, you'll be into 7. Does that do? Give you a little bit deeper view into somebody's skin? Does that do? Give you a little bit deeper view into somebody's skin?
So Donald Trump says 6G. I like the old cameras. It would catch your best feature, but now the cameras are all over your body. It'll give you a deeper view into somebody's skin. He said that. That's his words, not mine.
He
So
said,
and we said, it's a Freudian slip. But the kids these days, they said, hey, don't say the quiet part out loud. He said the quiet part out loud. Then after he say that, he drives everybody into a frenzy. Everybody gets their panties into a bunch. What is it? What you mean? That's what the kids say. So they know, people aren't keeping up with the science or whatever like that, but they're following and listening to Trump. So after Trump makes that statement, immediately they start to do damage control to try to play it off because he's a big fish. Nobody's listening to DARPA. But what is he talking about? They're going to be looking under our skin. He's talking about human augmentation, bio-digital convergence. Damn, Crumb, that's a lot of big words. Break it down for me. Amen, church. The mixing of man, machine, computer, and AI is what Donnie is talking about.
mm-hmm.
Remember when well, for me it was in high school. For some of the family it was junior high. There was a book called 1984, and one of the mantras of the book was Big Brother's watching you. I thought it was watching you go to Walmart, watching your credit card, whatever's. I didn't know they was watching under my skin. Jeez Louise. That's a whole different watching you. 6G under the skin surveillance. So after Trump drops this crazy Big Brother's watching you warning, which he shouldn't have dropped it, they start to say this is the damage control. Trump bizarrely links 6G to camera tech in confusing remarks on next generation networks. Oh, well, Trump's confused. It's just a bizarre misinterpretation, right? That's what they try to make it out to be.
No.
Trump reminds the entire world he has no idea what 6G means. He thinks it's video quality. This is damage control. Oh, Trump don't know what he talking about. And then this one, Grandpa Trump, age 79, struggles to get his head around 6G. Subtitle. The elderly president wondered aloud if 6G technology is meant for peering into people's skin. That's how the narrative to keep the cat in the bag, so to speak. Family, what Trump is trying to tell you is that this is metabolic energy harvesting. This is biofield hijacking, mRNA immunosuppression. Doc, I don't know if you know this, but these dudes who work at the car dealership and these dudes who work at AutoZone and places like that, they'll tell you, or they'll do it in front of you. Like the dude, he's got the Lexus. You want to buy a Lexus, and he has the thing you press beep beep to let the car go off to let you know where that actual Lexus is at. But that car beeping thing, it can only, like, the distance is maybe 15 feet, 30 feet, but the car might be 100 feet away. If you put the car alarm thing on your keys, if you put it to your temple, if you put it under your jaw, then it will automatically use your biofield to find the car. So if the car is 100 feet away and you put the car alarm thing on your keychain, if you put it to your temple or if you put it under your jaw, then it will harvest your biofield and it'll make the car go off even if it's outside of the actual key's range.
Ooh.
This was like a hood hack, if you will. The car dealer, right? So they're taking this and taking it to the whole next level. Check this out. IOB, Internet of Bodies. So just going through real quick, because we're talking about 6G, right? No problem. The difference between 4G and 5G, nobody noticed. Oh man, that 5G, that joint hit, bro. I tell you what, it's so different. I remember 5G rolled out doing covert 19. Everybody was saying 5G, you can't tell a ninth of a millisecond faster download speeds. But if your ass was too close to them towers, your ass got the sniffles, I got covert, and you got the sniffles. Not only do you got the sniffles, which is a common cold, it tapped into your nervous system. Remember, sight, sound, touch, taste, smell.
Right.
When you got covert, your ass couldn't taste no more. That joint was effing with your nervous system. Oh, 5G is safe, but if your ass live close to them towers, you start flopping like a fish. 5G, Crumb, I don't know what's the 4G. There's no difference between 4 and 5. 3G was where we finally started getting the cell phones upgraded on 3G. So 2G was text messages and emails. The leader of 2G was BlackBerry. BlackBerry was one of the first emailing phone devices, and that was considered ahead of its time. That's 2G.
Right.
After BlackBerry comes smartphones were after BlackBerry, meaning the phones could now play videos. You could go on Facebook on your phone. That was 3G. 2G was text message emails. 3G was streaming services like Facebook and watching YouTube videos. 4G was faster download speeds. We could download things faster. We kind of saw the difference between 3 and 4. But when we got to 5G, we couldn't tell the difference. 6G is Internet of the Body. I'm sorry, excuse me. 5G was Internet of Things, IoT. Now people's refrigerators, the refrigerator got internet on it. Your refrigerator play videos, tell you the weather. You can play little cute games. The kids playing games on the refrigerator, and this is just the Internet of Things was 5G. 6G was IOB, Internet of the Body. They're gonna make you the Wi-Fi signal. So remember, they said, "Oh, Trump is confused." Under the skin surveillance is coming quickly. Subtitle: we must ask 3 fundamental questions of all new technologies. Obviously, is it safe? Because remember, 5G was covert. All these damn internet signals were clouding your mind. I got this damn 5G everything in the house. Now I can't think straight. I can't even see the color purple. I'm just joking. Shout out to Prince. But yeah, IOB. So we're already dealing with the Internet of the Body. How many people do we all know wearing smartwatches? That smartwatch is tracking your steps, your blood pressure, your glycemic spikes, meaning your glucose. That smartwatch is reading the inside of your body. Oh, Crumb sound crazy, but I love my smartwatch. It was all the technology is already reading the inside of your body, family.
Right.
Go look up how to cook a frog. They're doing this to your ass slowly. Next thing you know, the damn internet going to be like an EKG machine reading your damn heart nodes.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
Right. Crumb, your blood pressure's high. How do you know? Because I can read the signals. They're going to lean. This is the thing for 6G. They're going to lean on terahertz. Terahertz frequencies are going to be able to see underneath your skin. So let's kind of check the facts on that. Terahertz frequencies, typically ranging from 100 to 10 terahertz, 100 gigahertz to 10 terahertz, are not currently used in commercial cell phones, but are considered a key component for future 6G technology. They offer, expected in 4 years, 2030. They offer ultra high speed data transfer. Oh, Crumb, you're going to get faster download speeds. The download speeds are fine. I download things in an instant. I'm good. I don't need it to be instantaneously. It download before I even know I wanted it. I don't know how fast can it get. Anyway, I'm sorry. Faster download speeds and high resolution. How higher is the resolution going to get? The stuff looks real already. Non-ionizing sensing, that's a big one. Ideal for, but not yet implemented in consumer mobile devices. All right, fine, cool, no problem. That's 6G. Do you mind reading this one, Doctor?
Yeah, terahertz. THZ. Radiation is generally considered safe at a low power level because it is non-ionizing and cannot break chemical bonds like X-rays. However, high power or prolonged exposure can cause thermal damage, such as skin irritation, burns, and potential DNA damage. Although such effects are usually only observed with specialized high-intensity devices.
Oh, Crumb, it's only going to cause a little bit of skin irritation and burning. Fine. If that was the case, then, I don't want it. I don't want that. But what bothers me, potential DNA damage? Your ass live next to a damn 6G tower. Your ass turn into a Ninja Turtle. Potential DNA damage. That's a big one. Oh, Crumb, it's only gonna it's just like the jab. In low doses, it doesn't cause any inoculation. But my grandma they live over there by that 6G tower. So now her ass done grown an extra arm out her freaking back, unraveling her DNA. Grandma looked like Spider-Man crawling up the walls. They said unraveling of DNA. So next generation 6G wireless tech might use human bodies for energy. Donald Trump tried to told you.
Yeah.
Donald Trump tried to tell you. The 4G, 2G was BlackBerry, internet text message. 3G was I forgot what 3G was. 3G was on the telephones watching YouTube. Oh, I'm sorry, 4G was on the telephone watching YouTube. 5G was Internet of Things. The damn everything in the house is connected to Wi-Fi. The refrigerator, the car got internet, all types of weird stuff. 6G is where they're going to put the internet in your body. I'm not playing with nobody. Oh, they're going to put the internet in our body and then they're going to harvest us for energy? Where have I heard that story before? Doctor, could you read this for me?
Yeah. In the Matrix, machines enslave humanity, keeping them in pods to harvest bioelectric, thermal, and neutral energy, essentially using them as batteries. Wow, yes. While the film explicitly states this, early and more scientific drafts suggest humans were used as processors in a giant neutral network rather than just a power source. Yeah, there was another movie. It was called Monster Inc. 1 and 2. That was for the children. Yes, the exact same thing was going on. He said they would take the screams of the children back to their world in order to fuel their world and leave the children all upset and emotionally imbalanced. As we would see that this is essentially what would be the same thing, it appears.
Predictive programming. These are not movies, they're documentaries. Oh, Crumb. I've never heard that before. That's crazy. They're going to use humans' bodies for energy. Go back and watch Monster Inc. All of it. They were harvesting the baby's energy. And they're going to harvest your energy, just like in the movie Matrix. Crumb, I can't wait for 6G. Oh, Donald Trump, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's an old man. No, 6G is going to be for you. The internet going to be in you. They're going to use your brain power. Because remember, the most scientific, the most advanced computer in the world, is the human brain. You don't think they're going to use your brain to push their machines? Anyway, according to West Texas A&M University, question: how do 5G cell phone signals harm humans? The electromagnetic waves from a cell phone system, including 5G systems, cause zero harm to humans. Well, listen, I remember when I didn't get covert, but I know a lot of people who got harmed by covert. A lot of our elders. A lot of our elders didn't make it past covert, the pandemic.
That's true.
You think 6G is going to be a walk in the park?
What can I say?
This is AI governance. They're going to govern you through the 6G framework.
Pieces anyway.
It's going to be continuous monitoring. They're going to manage your body through AI models,
Well, I can't tell one of the
and they're going to play and they're going to sell it through explainability and transparency. You'll be finally able to understand how the human body works and help fix your body better. AI governance. I've said a lot. Doc, would you like to read this or should I?
AI governance is the system of policies, standards, and frameworks that ensures artificial intelligence is developed, deployed, and used safely, ethically, and responsibly. Is that really true? Because ethnically, nobody wants this shit. But anyway, addressing risks like the bias, privacy, and misuse while promoting transparency, accountability, and fairness to align AI with social values and legal requirements. It acts as the crucial oversight to build trust and build trust with who? Oh, okay. And manage the powerful impact of AI across industries by setting guardrails, for development, data use, and operational oversight.
They're going to sell this thing as the next best thing since sliced bread. Oh, well, you can't trust the Democrats because of Pizzagate. You can't trust the Republicans because of Epstein lists. But if we allow the AI to govern us, the AI isn't going to be biased. The AI is going to have full transparency. And anytime you ask it a question, it'll give you a detailed answer of why this happened or why that happened. And we're going to put it in your body so that it can govern you. 6G will be watching under your skin to better govern you. Research indicates that while low intensity terahertz radiation, that is, let's just call a spade terahertz. Crumb, what is this frequencies? It's radiation, family. Let's call a spade, like Grandma used to say, right? This radiation is generally considered safe, and there we go again, non-ionizing. Non-ionizing exposure to short, intense bursts of terahertz radiation, such as those being explored for future 6G high-speed applications, has been shown to cause DNA damage. If you drop your phone, if your phone get wet, if you do something goofy and this thing has an intense burst of that radiation, it's going to unravel your DNA. Crumb, they're just going to look under my skin and, they're just going to be monitoring my blood pressure. Crumb, I can't get my blood pressure to get right. I need this. And
the question that we have to ask, Brother Crumb, is that with this DNA damage and this being able to look under the skin, is this correlating to what they refer to as the RFID chip, which would be also put under the skin, allegedly in the right hand or in the forehead, such as the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter speaks on the mark of the beast?
So we thought, me included, I thought they was just going to put a mark on our forehead. They're going to put a mark on every DNA strand in our body. Anybody remember mRNA? RNA is the short-term version of DNA, which is DNA is what you get from your mom and daddy. That's the stuff from generation to generation. RNA is what you yourself have on a short term. DNA is short-term memory. I'm sorry, RNA is short-term memory, DNA is long-term memory.
Long-term memory. That's right.
They are going to put that mark on every DNA strand in your entire body. My only question to the family is, does anybody know how much all is? Every DNA strand going to have a mark of the beast on it. They gonna unravel your DNA and put you back, not in God's image, in whatever image they want. They gonna have your ass looking like an antelope out here. Crumb, oh, I don't ask for that. Trick, you gonna be GMO. They will say, oh, it's for your health, but it will allow them to see your goddamn thoughts.
Oh, like
Somebody-
Minority Reports. Minority
VVY,
Report.
just like Minority Report.
Yeah, with Tom Cruise. Yeah.
ZVY4DI1 in the comments is clearly way ahead of me. He says, and they're going to document all of your thoughts word for word. Remember, now in 2026, a part of them prosecuting you, they go and look at your search engine history. Oh, you search this. You search that. Oh, you're guilty. Oh, you watched the Dr. Alim El-Bey video? That's a red flag. Oh, you've been following. They're going to track your internet footprint or fingerprint, and they're going to track whatever thoughts you done had. Go watch Minority Report. All of it. They're going to watch under your skin. Doc, let me just put it in simple terms for the family. Shout out to D Calico. He's in the building. Let me put it in simple terms.
But the D.
This is total biohacking, mass mind control, equipped with the cherry on top, which is a unalive switch. Y'all can read it. I'm not going to say it. You can read it. Welcome to 6G under the skin surveillance. This is real, folks.
Yeah.
Crumb, they not going to use us as a battery. Remember when Morpheus tried to told you that they would use you to power their agenda? Oh, Crumb, that was a good movie. I watched it with the kids and we all laughed. Samsung came out with a commercial. Obviously, I'm not going to play the whole commercial. It's not worth it. But at the end of the commercial, they say you and AI as one. Trick, what? No. I don't want AI under my family. Press 000 if you do not want to be a part of the AI underneath your damn skin. Don't worry. I'm going to press it.
Yeah, I'll do it. But damn.
Family, I don't want to be one with the damn computer.
Exactly.
Y'all doing too much. Let me tap in real quick. Sorry. Let me hear. I'm just gonna tap in with a 000. Okay, let's continue on. This is the next wave of hacking humanity. You yourself will become a phone. They're gonna put the technology. 6G is gonna be inside of you. Doc, take a listen at this real quick. It's less than a minute.
I wanted to ask when you all think we're going to move from this form factor to something that's on your face, glasses, and when computing's all on the edge.
Right. 50 seconds. Who wants to answer quickly? I think it will go. It will. First of all, it will definitely happen. I was talking about 6G earlier, which is around 2030. I would say that by then, definitely the smartphone as we know it today will not anymore be the usual kind of the most common interface. Wow. Many of these things will be built directly into our bodies.
It's going to be in your body.
Yeah.
Oh, Trump's an old man. He's an elder. He don't understand 6G. He's so the family. That was the World Economic Forum.
Right.
These people write history 10 years before it happens. And this whole thing, now I'm surprised I haven't seen it in the comments yet. Neuralink, family, Elon Musk, who got ADHD, autism, and some more-ish. He's a goofy. He's not smart at all. He didn't create Neuralink. DARPA created Neuralink, And his company, Neuralink, was a beneficiary because DARPA don't have a marketing arm. DARPA don't have a CEO or a board who can face the public and rock y'all to sleep. DARPA is the brain of the Pentagon, and they not talking to you. So so now Neuralink, which is not Tesla, which is Elon Musk's company, is the beneficiary of DARPA technology. Check this out, doctor. This is Neuralink before Tesla got a hold of it, before Elon got a hold of it.
The U.S. government's Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency developed what they call next-generation non-surgical neurotechnology, designed to allow the human brain to directly interface with machines.
Know that DARPA is exploring human-machine interfaces that include direct connections between the brain and outside systems.
We could have a sensor maybe on the surface of our head, or maybe implanted somewhere in our body, in our brain, or something that allows us to interact directly with our communications gear, our processing gear, our weapon systems, and so on. You put this sensor on and you think the right way, and you can increase the speed of the fan by thinking and controlling that thought with direct to mind or mind machine interfacing.
But there are those who believe that this same technology could also be used by DARPA as a new form of mind control. Like their counterparts at the CIA, DARPA-funded researchers have spent decades investigating how the human mind can be altered. Project Pandora, which studied the possibility of using microwave radiation to control human behavior. But DARPA's investigation of how machines can affect and possibly control the brain continues to this day.
There are explicit programs of DARPA to read and write to human brains.
We can send instructions and information to an actual person at distance with this kind of technology to let another person control their actions.
DARPA may possess the technology to remotely control the human mind. A more permanent kind of mind control technology is looming, and it involves modifying the human brain by altering the human body.
And you put these pieces together that can be injected.
They're going to implement 6G technology that's going to unravel our DNA, read our thoughts, control our brain, and it's going to be fully equipped with a kill switch.
Now, just because of the jab in which that already has nanoparticles embedded inside, along with Mr. Jeffrey Epstein DNA, the damaged DNA in which that will become unraveled will be replaced with the nanoparticles and Jeffrey Epstein. Hence, a cannibal rapist, grapist, as we would say. Yes. Chester, etc. now will become part of your DNA and your thought process. So now Minority Report becomes Majority Report.
Teach.
Interesting. Yeah, thanks, Brother Crumb. Interesting.
So this is Charles Schultz. He is the face of the World Economic Forum, and he is saying the same thing Donald Trump is saying. 6G underneath the skin technology is coming to you. We're going to put this technology underneath your skin. It won't be no more cell phones. It's going to be Neuralinks where you are the cell phone. Listen to him and then watch this black girl. And the black girl who comes after him, it's not a movie. That's a commercial.
Can you imagine that in 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains, and I can immediately feel, because you all will have implants.
Oh, you will, huh?
Hello, Bethany speaking.
What are you doing?
This is Bethany. Can you hear me?
Well, you're right in front of me.
But can you hear me down the phone?
Oh my gosh.
This is me. On the phone, I had it implanted. My hand is the phone. I can walk and talk because I'm on the phone inside my hand. I am the phone. This is what phones are going to be from now on. I have integrated. Thank you for your call. Subdermal implants. They charge themselves with motion like a self-winding watch. I get signal across 95% of UK mainland, 98 by next year.
It was ringing. You were ringing.
That's the speaker. So small. On the phone, I had it implanted. My hand is the phone. I am the phone. I am the phone.
And she is the phone.
Underneath the skin technology. They said Trump is crazy. Trump said the quiet part out loud. And that was a commercial from across the pond, if anybody knows what that means, over there in Europe. They are plotting. And listen, this is the reality of it. We're saying right now it's crazy, but no disrespect to nobody. Half the audience is going to have an implant. You know, I was surprised to see how many people in the conscious community got the jab.
You're right. Exactly.
A lot of people in the conscious community got the jab. Rono Rashiki. And I'm sure I pronounced his name wrong. But anyway, a lot of these leaders.
Rono Rashiki.
He got the jab, and it was on his Facebook profile picture. Something I don't know. You know, it's just, they were right that he got the jab. A lot of people in the conscious community, hey, Crumb, look at me. I'm now Samsung. Me and AI are one. So you know, I understand.
Well, now we know that them and Jeffrey Epstein are one. Now we know that Jeffrey Epstein put his DNA into the mRNA in order to bring forth, as you would say, the Kovac or the Crumb-19 beep, 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 beep into your monkey ass.
Amen, church.
So now you are not just a pediolete, but you are also a detriment to your own species, your own family line, your own heritage, your own lineage, and you will be AI'd real soon, as they say, 2030, which is only 4 more years. So you got 4 years to stop the dumb shit and get your shit right and do what you really need to do as a people. But then again, we Negroes, we're not going to do that. We're going to fuss and fight over who's right and who's wrong on the fucking internet. And yeah, that's what's going to happen. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Roll it away, Bob.
And that's why, and you, whoever can see the comments can see the names. The names that are in the comments, and I'm not going to give these people shout outs, but the names in the comments, those people those are some so-called elders of the conscious community who did get the jab. That's why I don't really deal with a lot of conscious community people. I don't, especially not the elders. Well, I don't deal with anybody for that matter. It's only a few, like Dr. Alim, who I even bang with. The rest of them folks, they're going to be in that joint with the chip in their head. Oh, look at me. Come and get it. Yes, it's great. But anyway, I think I'll skip this one. Future wearable devices could draw power through your body using background 6G telephone signals, cell phone signals, excuse me. Subtitle: excess energy from wireless 6G networks could be harvested by a copper coil in the human body. It's going to power you. You're going to Crumb. I got all types of energy. That's GMO energy. I don't want no GMO nothing.
Right.
Crumb, you need to come in the matrix. It feels wonderful. The water's fine. I'm good, family. I'm good.
You know what, God? It's like Negroes wanting, a plastic, rubber strap on, you know what I mean? Instead of the real thing, they want the rubbery fake thing, you know what I mean? And right now, that's what's going on, and we're going to continue seeing that, as you said, no matter what, I'm jab free, you know what I mean? So we're going to see what happens. you know, they already say that Negroes are turning green when they go through the little airport thing. They can see, you know, they can see all into the body already, you know. So yeah.
Teach. That's crazy. So this is RFK Jr. Check out what his funny check out what a raspy voice has to say about it.
In fact, we're about to launch one of the biggest advertising campaigns in HHS history to encourage Americans to use wearables. It's a way of people can take control over their own health. They can take responsibility. They can see, as you know, what food is doing to their glucose levels, their heart rates, and a number of other metrics as they eat it. And they can begin to make good judgments about their diet, about their physical activity, about the way that they live their lives. We think that wearables are a key to the MAHA agenda, making America healthy again. And we are going to, my vision is that every American is wearing a wearable within 4 years.
His vision is that every American is wearing one of these wearables underneath the skin surveillance within the next 4 years. And remember,
what happened to them taking the red 40 out of the items, Brother Crumb? I thought it was the red 40 that was, you know, causing a lot of the problems. You know, everything from autism to what we now refer to as cancer. What happened?
He done flipped. He done flipped. They offered him a little bit of money, and he changed the MAHA agenda. Remember, they're going to sell it as the answer to expensive health care. Family, when I say problem, reaction, solution, there's a certain dialect that I'm referring to. Does anybody know the name of the dialect that I'm referring to? Because America, as you can see from my little chart here, the U.S. has the most expensive healthcare system. Hey, we're going to be able to, hey, if you get the underneath the skin technology, your health insurance, we're going to take $10,000 a year off of your health insurance. It's going to be so cheap. It's going to be so better. We're going to make America great again. We're going to make America healthy again. All we have to do is monitor you under the skin, but it's not for personal reasons like a kill chip. It's not for that. It's going to be because we want to make you healthy, not because we want to surveil you. So I don't see anybody who put the answer in the comments, but problem, reaction, solution is called Hegelian dialect. That's the way they sell stuff to you. They present a problem, you have a big reaction, and they bring you the solution. IOB, folks, is called Internet of the Body. This whole thing where he's talking about wearables, IOB will be 6G surveillance in the form of wearable implants, such as smart tattoos and mRNA nanotechnology, just like with the jab. You're gonna have the Jeffrey Epstein jab, walk around here, palms sweaty like a pervert, don't know why. Crumb, I don't got no taste. You don't have 5 senses. You have one nervous system that operates in 5 different ways, and they're going to neutralize that itch. They're going to inoculate your nervous system, and the nanotechnology is going to have your ass walk around here like a Manchurian candidate. Shout out to Adept Moore 7 in the comments.
Brother D said that Epstein 3000. We got Andre 3000. They're walking around here. Epstein 3000. Exactly. They the 3 stack. The new 3 stack. Yeah.
Doctor, this is why I can't trust RFK Jr.
Right.
Can you read this for me real quick, please?
Oh, yeah. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. disclosed a sub $15,000 investment into CRISPR.
What's CRISPR?
Yes, what's CRISPR? I think you went over this the last class. But Therapeutics AG, a biotech firm specializing in gene editing. Technology. According to early 2025 financial filings, despite previously warning that the technology risks, this investment represents a stake in a company that achieved FDA approval for a CRISPR basic sickle cell treatment.
Let me just unpack this because I know you're it's NASCAR in your brain. I know you're racing in the brain right now. I know you are, doctor. But why can't we trust RFK? Because RFK got exposed in the 2025 financial filings. Last year, it came out that his ass invested 15 stacks into CRISPR. Crumb, I've never heard of CRISPR. Fine. It's a biotech firm specializing in gene editing. What you mean? Like with 6G destroying the DNA and CRISPR recreating the DNA in God's image? Well,
somebody's gonna who was if I'm not forgetful, I could have sworn that also someone else before he went to jail August the 19th, August the 10th, 2019, and allegedly unalived himself. He also was investing in CRISPR.
Correct.
All these mother jokers are investing in CRISPR.
Correct.
Interesting.
My only question, doctor, does anybody know how much all is? All of them are placing their bets on CRISPR. So now we've read at least 3 different times in this PowerPoint where 6G is going to unravel your DNA and CRISPR is going to come back and create a new mark of the beast. Yeah, it's going to be on your DNA from CRISPR. And then they were selling it. The selling point, even though the technology, regardless of the warnings, despite previous warnings about the technology's risk, this investment represents a stake in a company that achieved FDA approval for a CRISPR-based sickle cell treatment. Doctor, I wanted to kind of...
Who has sickle cell?
Who
are the
has...
major... Exactly. Who are the major people, constituents of sickle cell treatment? Anyone knows?
I wanted to ask the family, if this sounds like the Tuskegee experiment all over again, can you press 111? This is the Tuskegee experiment all over again. You gonna be the experiment. Let me press. Hold on, doctor, beat me to the punch. This is Tuskegee all over. Sickle cell? Sickle cell? Nah, bro. Y'all slick as a can of oil.
Slick. Yeah. And they said CRISPR-based sickle cell treatment.
So, real quickly, CRISPR, clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats, whatever the hell that means. It's a revolutionary gene editing technology derived from a natural bacterial defense system. When they talk about the natural bacterial defense system, they're talking about the mRNA, which was created from AIDS. I told y'all, if you got that jab, you better go get an AIDS test, because Dr. Fauci, who was the one who brought you the cure for AIDS, was the same one who brought you that mRNA. It was a bacterial defense system. It acts like molecular scissors. When the 6G tears up your DNA, CRISPR got this bacteria, which is from AIDS, that's going to go back and fix you up real good, guided by RNA to specific genomic location to correct mutations caused by 6G, to treat diseases and alter organism traits. Oh, don't worry, we're gonna treat high blood pressure. We're going to treat diabetes. Y'all know who leads in diabetes. We're going to treat sickle cell. Y'all know who got sickle cell. They not like us.
That's right.
We going to be the guinea pigs as always.
And remember, they talking about DNA. So interesting is that they're looking for those who have the E1B1A haplogroup DNA because they are direct descendants of Ramesses III, who was the real father of America. Not Thomas Jefferson, not George Washington, not John Adams, but he was our ancient father. Why? Because when you go and do your research, you will find that Ramesses III was the father of not just of Egypt or Kemet or Tamaray, but he also was the father of the Olmec civilization.
Teach.
Showing and proving that you are the last true heirs of that society. E1B1As, and that's 65% and more of the so-called Negro population. So why wouldn't I want to make you controllable when you have the ancient DNA of not just the quote-unquote Semitic Egyptians, Kemetics, hence Tamarians. Hence, the word Tamarian is where you get America from. But you also are the ancient Moors or Moors from the land of Moor or Mu, Lemuria, as well as also the European Moors. You are also the Hebrew Israelites, who are the chosen ones. And guess what? The Jews have been found out that they are the fake ones. And Brother Crumb has gave you so much information over the last several months concerning the fake ones, the Juicies, as he states. And if you haven't gotten that by now, I don't know what you need to get. But you are the real Hebrews, Israelites. So now they have to subjugate the God force completely because they also have to replace the God gene, which is also located in the right articular area of the brain where they want to place this chip at in order for have complete control. That neural link that is shown here. But I digress.
Very well said, good doctor. So just to kind of recap, they're going to use the 6G underneath our skin. The danger of 6G is it's going to unravel our DNA. It's going to destroy our DNA. They're going to come back with CRISPR, which they're all invested in. My only question is, anybody know how much all is? They're going to use this gene editing system, which is powered by mRNA, the Epstein jab. And they're going to put us back, not in God's image, but in Epstein's image. And when they put us back together, we are going to be merging. This is the 6G bioconvergence, folks. We are going to officially be merged into the matrix. Could you read this this article for me, please? The headline.
Smartphones to soon become obsolete. BCIs like Neuralink are the way forward, say Elon Musk.
Now, remember, Elon Musk didn't create Neuralink. He was a beneficiary of DARPA technology because he has a marketing team. He's the CEO who can answer questions, take calls, get sued, whatever the case may be. The fall guy, if you will. DARPA, the brain of the Pentagon, is the one who is operating this system. BCI stands for brain computer interface. This is 6G bioconvergence. You are going to be the computer with under the skin technology. Check this out, doctor.
COVID is critical because this is what convinces people to accept, to legitimize total biometric surveillance. If we want to stop this epidemic, We need not just to monitor people, we need to monitor what's happening under their skin. Their body temperature. Like we walked in here, we had to go through a body temperature test. Well, I think maybe in a couple of decades when people look back, the thing they will remember from the COVID crisis is this is the moment when everything went digital. And if this was the moment when everything became monitored, that we agreed to be surveyed all the time, not just in authoritarian machines, but even in democracies. And maybe most importantly at all, this was the moment when surveillance started going under the skin. The biometric sensor. It's the thing, it's the gadget, it's the technology that converts biological data into digital data that can be analyzed by computers. And having the ability to really monitor people under the skin, this is the biggest game changer of all. With this kind of surveillance, I mean, you watch the big president, the big leader, gives a speech on television. The television could be monitoring you and knowing whether you're angry or not, just by analyzing the cues, the biological cues coming from your body. So now people are now watching us online all over the world, this conversation. Now, maybe even right now, the people who are watching us are being watched and analyzed. And the thing is, it's not just you're now watching this. The thing is, we know that you're watching this and we also know how you feel. Are you angry about what you hear? Are you frightened? Are you bored? This is the kind of power that Stalin didn't have. When Stalin gave a speech, everybody, of course, clapped their hand and smiled. Now, how do you know what they really think about Stalin? It's very difficult. You can't have a KGB agent following everybody all the time. Even if you do it, he's just watching your outside behavior. He doesn't really know what's happening in your mind. But in 10 years, the future Stalins of the 21st century, they could be watching the minds, the brains of all the population all the time. And also they will have the computing power to analyze all that. It's not just having an agent following everybody all the time. The agent in Stalin's days writes a paper report, and you have these millions of paper reports piling up in Moscow. Somebody needs to read them, to analyze them. That's impossible. Now you don't need human agents. You don't need human analyzers. You just have a lot of sensors and an AI which analyzes it, and that's it. You have the worst totalitarian regime in history. And COVID is important because COVID legitimizes some of the crucial steps, even in democratic countries.
Underneath the skin surveillance. They told you during the pandemic, highlight on plan, that the mRNA kicked this whole thing off. They're going to monitor us. They're going to put technology out that's going to change man to machine. Let me, do you mind if I do like one or two more?
Please do.
Now, again, family, nobody's listening to some juicy nerds at the World Economic Forum outside of nerds like me. So when these guys say it, obviously it's going to go over the radar. But when Donald Trump says it, everybody in America is going to hear it. That's why they had to do damage control. And remember, Donald Trump told you he was the father of the vaccine. He was the one who kicked this whole thing off. Check this out.
The really big thing is hacking human beings. To hack human beings, you need a lot of biological knowledge, a lot of computing power, and especially a lot of data.
Well, that's too long. I'm not going to play this whole thing. This video, as many others in full in its full length, is going to be on my Patreon. And I want to keep this under an hour. Check this one out.
One of the features of this fourth industrial revolution is that it doesn't change what we are doing, but it changes us.
The difference of this fourth industrial revolution is it doesn't change what you are doing. It changes you. If you take
that's what we're
genetic
talking about.
editing, Right. Just as an example, it's you who are changed. And of course, this has a big impact on your identity.
Yeah. And offers certain kinds of possibilities that have to be careful about. You know, when you began to do that kind of gene editing, some people worry that you are changing what it means to be human.
That's the problem. And of course, the new industrial revolution offers us many opportunities, but it raises manifold questions on the ethical, but even legal implications. And we have to be prepared for it. And that's what we want to do in Davos next year. So this fourth industrial revolution it doesn't change what you are doing. It changes you. If you take a genetic editing, right. Just as an example, it's you who are changed.
Look, these motherfuckers don't even have hair, and they need to be focusing on growing some or doing something in order for their health. But they damn worrying about, right, cone head. You know what I'm saying? But they worrying about somebody else, being tracked. You know, I mean, these are all this is all nonsense. This is physical information that they keep talking about here. I was going to do a presentation, Brother Crumb, today, and I'm going to have to do it right after we finish this, because it leads ways directly into this, because it goes into what is called the soul catcher chip, in which they've been working on ever since the 90s, the early 90s, in which that is part of this CRISPR project that they have here, you know. So we're going to get to that, but go ahead. I'm sorry. You want me to read this?
Please.
Trump's 6G remarks spark confusion, draws attention to tech misstatements.
And this is the funny part. It wasn't a tech misstatement. Trump said the quiet part out loud. We call that a Freudian slip, but in this case, we're calling it a Trumpian slip. He wasn't supposed to say that. Nobody's listening to the World Economic Forum. Nobody's listening to these juicy nerds, but they're listening to Trump.
Right.
And Trump said it. Remember, Trump called himself the father of the vaccine and claims he deserves credit for the jab, the mRNA. He was the one who delivered this to you. Trump wants 6G internet ASAP, as soon as possible. He launched Operation Pandora. Remember when he put Elon Musk as the official tech guy for America? This is all a part of technocracy, AI governance, where they govern through computer chips. They're going to govern through the AI infrastructure. It's called Operation Stargate. He put that in place on his first day in office, the very first day. Donald Trump brought you, along with his juicy overlords, the 6G bioconvergence. I am your humble brother Crumb, the master student, with my elder, my Baba, the master teacher, and 404, which is the zip code for Atlanta. Listen, if you know, you know. Come kick ball with us. It's going to be me versus Palmetto from 2 Raw for TV. That's 2 Raw for TV, family. The host is going to be Ugly Money Nietzsche. He has more than 1 million followers across all of his platforms. I don't want to say the ghetto. He's the hood Kevin Samuels. Listen, family, if you know, you know. It's going to be sponsored by the Buzz System. That's self-defense people. And if I pronounced that wrong or said it the wrong way, please forgive me. I think you can scan this QR code. I don't know. Let me just make it big real quick. And if you can, then that's awesome. That's the QR code. If not, you're going to have to go to 2rawfortv.tv. That's 2rawfortv.tv. I only have 1 spot left on my team. If you want to be on my team, there's 1 spot left. Palmetto might have more. Hey, Crumb, you be saying stuff that pisses me off. I want to go against you and see that you lose. Well, you can be on Palmetto's team. If not, you can just come and be a part of the audience. That's April 4th in Atlanta, Georgia. ATL, shawty, on 2rawfortv.tv. As always, good doctor, I want to give you high honors and perfect praises for having me. This is 6G bioconvergence, the 6G surveillance under the skin technology. I yield the floor. Thank you.
Y'all got to give it up for Brother Crumb. He dropped it as once again. He dropped this on your head, on your dome. You know what I mean? I mean, this right here was biodome. Like, you got 6G bioconvergence. Well, this was actually 7G Crumb biodomed. Okay. For those that want to continue, stay on, because I'm going to go straight into my presentation right now with because this is just it ties right directly into it. So I have no choice but to go right into it. But if Brother Crumb, he got anything else he want to say or anything, that's up to him. Of course, we got to thank him once again for coming on and sharing, with us. And yeah, smash that like button. You know what I'm saying? Get to subscribe. Do what you need to do. But right now, I suggest that you prepare for what they trying to bring, because what Brother Crumb just gave you, Negroes is behind the 8 ball. Matter of fact, Negroes are the 8 ball.
Teach.
Okay. All right.
I want to ask,
yeah,
if the family wants to see more from Brother Crumb, let the doc know by pressing 222. I think we left off on 111. Press 222 if you want me back. You definitely have to hit that like button, family. This video got to do some numbers so we can kind of confirm that, hey, you know what? Let's get them back in the house. 222 if you want to see me back. Hit that like button if you want to see me back. Thank you. Until next time, doctor. I love you. Peace.
All right. Love you too, girl. Appreciate you. Peace. All right, for everybody else, hang on. Be getting ready to go directly into the information, because good gosh, this was all flowing perfectly. So let's get it. Let's get it. Here we go. Bam. Let's go. Let's go. And y'all can tell me if y'all can see the presentation, if you can see it, hit me with the 111. If you can see the presentation. All right. So let's get into it. All right, Brother Crumb told y'all the last time, and I will have to specify this time as well, that if you have not gotten this book, Planetary Genesis, Stargate DNA, Human Extraterrestrial Origin, if you think this is just about some extraterrestrial coming out the sky to save you behind, I promise you it's not. Get the book, and you get some of the most profound information to ever be exposed on the planet Earth. In fact, this section goes into portions of what is going on. So we got synthetics, go by other names. What is a synthetic? Well, there's more realistic, advanced synthetic humans, etc. And they are not just used for special effects, stuntmen, movies, cartoons, etc. You have robotoids, humanoids, gynoids, actoroids, androids, geminoids, synthetics, and animatrons or animatronics, etc. So let's look at what most people know. Synthetic people, bioandroids, and robotoids may be walking among us. Yeah, they are. And been walking among us since the 60s. It has been stated by Goddess Florburn that these clones, biobots, organic robotoids, and bioandroids and synthetics or syntheticas are created to host demonic spirits. That's what they want to turn you into. This CRISPR inserts not just Jeffrey Epstein's DNA into you, because that's what you were shot out with from the jabby jab, the mRN, but we know that they are demonic spirits because they have these lower level reptilians attached to their DNA, which is why they have to do the sacrifices and they eat the children and all these types of things in which that has taken place. And if you don't understand that by now, I got a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you. Via the CERN project. We went over the CERN. We talked about CERN last Saturday. Myself and Master Student Brother Crumb. All right? CERN is a machine that can open wormholes. But even more detrimental is the fact of not just opening up the portals, but what they bring through the portal, which is these demonic spirits. Articles in New Scientist, Quantum Wormholes Can Carry People by Charles Coy, 23 May 2002. See, 2002. They already knew all of this. 2002? That's 24 years ago. Nearly 25 years ago, y'all. Disclosed TV. Scientists are hunting for a mirror universe and attempting to open portals into it. All around us are tiny doors that leads to the rest of the universe. Predicted by another Einstein. All right, Einstein. Equations. These quantum wormholes offers a faster-than-light shortcut to the rest of the cosmos, at least in principle. Now, physicists believe that they can open the doors wide enough to allow someone to travel through or bring something through. Yeah, sir. Well, what they want to bring through? Well, get the book, Remember Who You Are, by David Icke. The chapter's Reptilians on the Barricades. And this is what he states. The reptilians and their human hybrids have been preparing for the challenge of the truth vibrations. And this is the major motive behind HAARP, which is what they're used to control the weather conditions. And the reason why we noticed that it was 80 degrees, almost 90 degrees actually, just 3 days ago. And then it fell to 28 degrees within less than 24 hours. How do you go from almost 90 degrees to below zero? They are seeking to stop the truth vibrations penetrating our reality to the extent that they potentially could and prevent people from tuning into them and being awakened by them. HAARP has the potential to encircling the planet with a full body shield together with other facilities around the world, including the enormous American Cabal underground base at Pine Gap in Central Australia. Bernard Eastlund, the original patent holder for HAARP technology, say that the shield could be created with real relativistic particles. They are charged particles moving at the speed of light. This, together with coin-type technology on the ground, smart grids in the house and workplaces, and so on. In other words, 6G. An artificial smart grid. This is what Brother Crumb just told you about. Comprising a multi-level energetic defense shield to the truth vibrations. What was called the Star Wars defense shield created allegedly to stop incoming missiles, was primarily a front for establishing a planetary defense shield to block incoming information and awareness. Incoming information from where and from who? Well, we know that the sun generates information for those who have melanin. The light acts as what they call a step-down transformer of electromagnetic energy. The light of the sun acts as a transference of electromagnetic energy, which is knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and awareness and benevolence. What? Extraterrestrials and interdimensionals. Extraterrestrials and interdimensionals. This is where they're trying to stop the information. They're trying to block it. Oh, I wonder why we've been seeing a enormous rush, an enormous multitude of UAPs or UFOs in the skies. And it's been that since they told us about really, since I told y'all about what was coming from the supernova explosion, in which that would be coming from what we refer to as the right arm of God, which is Betelgeuse, all right, which is in the Orion belt. But ever since we've been talking about that 6 years ago, we know that the light from there has been pulsating down here, in which that would actually open up these particular portals to give access. So the Saturn moon matrix operates within a certain frequency band, and the more we open our minds beyond the band, the less we are influenced by the transmissions. There was little danger of before the true vibrations began to open minds, and the Reptilian Alliance has been preparing to resist this change that would bring their house down. This is why at the very point of the humans are demonstrably awakening, all right, we are being hit by what is described in this book. They need to increase the levels of mind and emotional suppression to stop people expanding awareness beyond the confines of the Saturn moon matrix. And this is the reason why we have now all this nonsense about Epstein. Truthfully, HARP, all right, which is high Oriole research program, and associated technologies are a matrix support system on Earth, manipulating the energy fields which we interact. CERN, Large Hadron Collider, is involved in this too, along with what is happening in the vast interconnected underground bases and cities and those inside gorge out mountains. Now we know that that these tunnels have been found because they're underneath the house Puffy. They went to Puffy house in Los Angeles, and what did they find underneath his house? Oh, they found caverns and underground corridors and tunnels. Well, they went to who else house? Oh, well, we know that Gene Hackman and his wife was killed or died or whatever, the unalived themselves, or whatever the case is, in some shape, form of manner. And what did they find underneath their house? Well, we know that according to an article that came out years ago, almost 100 years ago, Los Angeles Times, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it spoke about how these tunnels ran rampant throughout Los Angeles throughout that area. So this is no nonsense. Rapidly increasing sources of radiation, not less from um, Fukushima, as they also part of this shield, among other things, and the destabilizing of the human body receiver transmitting system together with chemicals in food and drink, fluoride in the drinking water, with lithium on the wish list, toxic vaccinations, and genetic modifications of food. Metals and chemtrails are also connected, and so is the information distorting population of the sea and water sources with chemicals, radiation, and what's happening with the oil catastrophe in the Gulf of Mexico. This distortion has since been carried on the tidal flow to a much wider expanse of the world oceans. You don't need to see the oil on the surface to have information distorted by oil in the sea. This is the same principle that I highlighted earlier with regards to homeopathy. The ingredients of homeopathic remedies are diluted until there is no ingredient left, but the information from the ingredient is still there. The entire receiver transmitter system and information fields of the planet, humanity, and everything else are being attacked from every angle at the moment to block the true vibrations, transformations, and demise of the Saturn moon matrix. Nuclear devices explode in the Van Allen belts that significantly increase their radiation levels, was also part of the multifaceted defense shield. The satellite network is involved in this too. There is so much more going on that we do not know, including the challenge being mounted to those controlling Saturn and the moon. We are not alone. There is an enormous effort underway to set humanity free, and it is happening across multiple dimensions, from those who would call extraterrestrials to pure awareness. The reptilian game plan is this. They established a vibrational defense shield to maintain the Earth atmosphere within frequency bands that will cause most of humanity to remain asleep. This is what they're doing with the Epstein files. They want you to be focused, since they couldn't stop the awakening. Just remember, they're going against the woke movement. Remember, this is what they keep talking about. The governor of Florida, as well as also Trump. They all have said it out their mouths that they're going to stop the woke movement. Well, how are they going to stop the woke movement? Oh, you use Epstein shit, which has a lot of the QAnon shit in it, which was already told to us 6 years ago. And you use that in order to try to help make humanity remain asleep, or at least look in another direction and not look at what they're really doing, such as what me and Brother Crumb broke down to you today of what they're really doing on the back end. They know that some will be conscious enough and open-minded enough to awaken, and this is the reason for the police state and the fine detail surveillance technology and programs. This is what they want, remember? This is why, because Negroes awaken, their whole thing is against the woke movement. They are seeking out those who are breaking free from the mind prison. The DNA data base is being created to help everyone unique vibrational file so that they can target the awakening directly on their vibration to either take them out or block their DNA receiver transmitter systems. They don't want such people in their brave new world. They plan a mass call of a global population because the current numbers, or even a significant large section, could be lethal to their plan. As I will will explain in a moment, I have been saying this for nearly 20 years, that the plan was to microchip every child at birth. This is to externally control their reality and All right. To stop the what they call vibrational state from the time they entered this world. Their very thoughts would be controlled through their lives, and any source of information they could open their mouths would be blocked or banned. All right. Dr. Richard Day, the Rockefeller insider, said in 1969 that the books will just disappear from libraries. The true vibrations would not be able to connect with people in that state, and the earth would be a fully fledged prison camp serving the interests and demands of the reptilians. This is what they're working towards. Movements would be severely restricted in line with Agenda 21. Think of Chinese society today and multiply the level of control many, many times, and you have something that looks like the world they want to impose. China today is the basic blueprint started by Freemasons and Illuminati placement. Mao Zedong from the Brave New World version would be far more extreme and severe. The final end game is to change the atmosphere of the planet to better suit the reptilians so that they can more easily, openly manifest once they have a dramatic, smaller population that is mind controlled to the point of being nothing more than robotic slaves in the world of the Agenda 21 or 2030. This is another crucial reason for unleashing all those sources of radiation and punching holes in the ionosphere, changing the atmosphere to suit the reptilians. They are planning to mutate human genetics to accept a much more irradiated atmosphere for the 500 million to 1 billion slaves they wish to survive the call. Once again, there is nothing new under the sun, as the ancient Egyptians knew of wormholes, and this is verified by William Henry's video, The Rainbow Light Body, and he shows here how black holes, white holes, can wormhole leads to time travel, and then we have the bolt of Ra, in which that correlates to this particular physics and quantum physics example. Let's look further into synthetic people, bioandroids, and robotoids. The best source of proof of this information are Dr. Peter Beater, audio letters. Dr. Beater was an American attorney and financier, and this is what he stated. A robotoid is alive in a biological sense, but it is an artificial life form. Robotoids responds to conventional routine medical tests in the same way as humans do. They eat, they drink, they breathe, they bleed, if cut, and they can be killed. Robotoids can also think, but they think only in the sense that a computer thinks. Like any other computer, the brain of a robotoid has to be programmed for each assignment it is given. But unlike many electronic computers, the biological computer brain of a robotoid possesses an enormous memory. As a result, robotoids can be programmed to communicate and think in such complex patterns that they act human. Organic robotoids are remarkable creatures, but they have many drawbacks. They don't grow or reproduce, but must be manufactured one by one in the desired form. They also have a very limited lifespan, measured in months or even weeks, depending upon how they are utilized. This is due to the fact that their metabolism, while it resembles that of a human, is very insufficient. A robotoid can be manufactured on very short notice, a matter of hours, but after a few weeks or months, it suddenly begins to deteriorate physically and mentally. So, we find that Jeffrey Epstein, if you put in Epstein on cloning in Google, Jeffrey Epstein reportedly harbored 333, all right, or 333 ambitions involving cloning and genetic engineering, specifically aiming to use his wealth and New Mexico ranch to seed the human race with his own DNA. This is what I was talking about during the time in which that, matter of fact, of what we just finished doing with Brother Crumb. According to reports from the New York Times and others, Epstein discussed a plan to impregnate 20 women at the time at his Zorro Ranch, believing he could improve the human species through this eugenics-focused approach. Eugenics and genetic engineering reports indicate the obsession with improving human DNA, a desire to use personal genetic material to influence future generations. Now, what was so perfect, or what was so ingenious about his DNA? Remember, he didn't even have a damn prostate gland. He had to have it removed. Too much molestation, too much chestering. All right, then the New Mexico ranch, the Zorro Ranch, was reportedly envisioned as a site for these genetic projects, with plans centered on creating a lineage based on his own DNA. Some Neanderthal shit. Transhumanism. There was a document interested in transhumanism, the concept of using technology to expand human intelligence and physical capacities, including an interest in cryogenics and life extension. Yeah, scientific funding. Wealth was used to fund research in genetics, artificial intelligence, and stem cell biology. This involved building relationship with various scientists to explore the possibilities of creating stem cell lines from his own skin cells. This is what is in the mRNA, y'all. Reporting versus speculation. While his personal interest in eugenics and the seeding of his DNA is well documented by various news outlets, many broader conspiracy theories regarding the widespread cloning of global elites remain unsubstantiated. No, it has not been remained unsubstantiated. This is what they want. And let's look at this right here, because part of the devil's master plan, which was revealed by Honorable Elijah Muhammad, this is what he spoke about. And some of this is blurry, so I have to get real close up on it before I can see what's going on here. What is the Pacific preparing women that the wise white scientists intend to use in bringing a percentage of the black nation down with them? Answer: the message teaches that some of the wise scientists of Germany has developed a biological plan which in turns will help to destroy the black man. This scientific plan called for was constructed along the lines of biological manifestation of a so-called hybrid being, which in this case a totally new type of woman, but one who would and does has the appearance and similarities of the black woman. So she'll have the fat ass. Yeah, because they know that that's what the brothers like. So you say this created woman has the same color and body structure that the black woman has. The messenger teaches that in order for one to detect her, one would have to be able to observe the coloring of the roots of her hair, which appears as being of a grayish green. This color is due to the chemical makeup of her body, and this color may even appear within the eyes. Some other biological maladjustments includes the irregularity of her menstrual cycle and the obsessed craving or desire for the sex art. Okay. I'll leave it there. So we have these synthetic people, or what they call replicas. And these are people who looked every bit as real as a real person, but stimulate human beings. Certain tissues extracts from cows are the starting point to part of the reason for cattle mutilations. The process is the advancement of a process discovered in the late 1950s. This 1959 experiment was reported in a book in 1969 called The Biological Time Bomb by Gordon Raytrack Taylor. Taylor described the experiments done in France. They had extracted DNA from the cell of a khaki Campbell duck and I injected it into a white Perkin chicken, thinking they just possibly the offspring of the latter would show some characteristics derived from khaki Campbell ducks. To their astonishment, the actual duck they injected began to change. Their white feathers darkened and their necks began to take on a particular curve, which is a mark of the Campbell duck. The scientists worked under the auspices of the Rothschilds. Oh, who else we find that's been working under the auspices of the Rothschild? And developed his process by working on a secret breakneck speed. They developed an advanced development of a process they discovered with the DNA chicken experiment. By the late 1970s, synthetic people could be produced by the Illuminati. Yeah, that's what's going on. So scientists experiments on melanin to create advanced robots and implants. Scientists experiment on melanin? Scientists are now doing some experiments on melanin, hoping to discover a way to manipulate the transmutable dark matter found in all living things, melanin, to create advanced melanin-based robots and implant technologies. They already was doing that in the 60s, essentially using the essence of what makes people black or brown, replicating the biological archetype, and use the research to create the cyborg technology consciously or unconsciously, attempting to even the score between the people with melanin and the people without it. God damn. Melanin is listed on the stock exchange and is worth $384.50 per gram. Melanin is currently worth much more than gold. The gram of gold is worth $53. The gram of melanin is worth $300. Silver, platinum, palladium, rhodium, and even coltan. All right, melanin is not only a pigment or a color, which is additional to being a biopolymer, aromatic, and a organic semiconductor, is worth more than gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and rhodium, but has many pigmented people know that melanin, what biopolymer, aromatic, and organic semiconductor responsible for the tone of hair of human skin, the color of crows or black panthers today are such a dollar value in the Western world. So now we know what they want to use. And remember, we just read the article that this is what they already was working on. The same color and body structure that the black woman has is what they created. Right here, we keep going go back to the article. The messenger teaches that in order for one to detect her, one would have to be able to observe the coloring of the roots of her hair, which appears to be grayish green. Okay, we come down. It is taught that once one has a grasp in this sex acts with her, that after a period of 6 months, his body will begin to develop a maniculate type that cannot whereby be different corpuscles of the blood system would have become wholly contaminated. This promotes even more destruction to the body system, such as syphilis, to the degree that it appears in the eyes. Well, this goes back to them utilizing HIV, or what they claim becomes AIDS. I said that's what they claim. All right, which becomes AIDS. All right. Now, over 6 months, the body has become unable to function. It may maintenance for continuing life. All body cells cease to occur themselves, thereby promoting death. The creation of this woman has been in existence, taking place since 1959. Within the remote villages of the country of Angola in Africa. This project, financed by the government of the United States, Germany, and Portugal, the major financiers and benefactors. Now, hold on. Why 1959? Oh, I can tell you what was going on in Angola and Africa during that time period. They had an individual by the name of who? Anybody knows? Anyone? Anyone knows? Well, I tell you, Simeon Toko, he was a Messiah. And he made the statement that you weren't about me, you have to worry about many more who will come after me. And guess what? He had E1B1A. Yeah. And he's talking about you and I, who will come after him, who will have the same powers that he had, being able to stop a airplane in mid-air and have it sit there for hours and hours. Have the ability to reanimate the physical body after it's being chopped up. Being able to animate the body after the heart been taken out and sit up on the operation table. This is what he did. Being able to awaken the dead, to make the blind man see, make the deaf hear, make the lame walk. These are all the gifts in which that he had and more. All right? He had more. And this is what you have. And this is what they're afraid of. This is part of the woke movement that these motherfuckers trying to end. All right? Well, you know what? Erykah Badu already told you. What if there was no niggas and only master teachers? I stay woke. What if there was no niggas and only master teachers? I stay woke. What if there was no niggas and only master teachers? I stay woke. You better stay woke, niggas. You better stay woke. That's all I can tell you. The development of these women consists of the transmutation and grafting of the black pigment from the body of a black woman within the body of the white woman, capillary system whereby over a period of time it alters the entire color of the white body. And this type of treatment, along with other high specialized biological prescriptions, which range from minor surgery to radiation treatments to help induce the necessary fluids to which her body maintains it life functions. These fluids in which that her body manufactures and maintains are also the chief cause for what produce death to the individual who would engage in any type of sexual intimacy with her. Yeah, see, this is what they got going on. So you have organic robot toys. This is an artificial life form that is created through the processes that are totally different than cloning and synthetics. Organic robot toys technology is being made to make exact as possible copies of important people such as presidents and stuff and some of their staff. This is what you just seen with Biden. How the memory of the person is transferred from the organic robot toy. Companies have developed the soul catcher chip. Oh, this is the spiritual aspect I was going to go into with Brother Crumb that we just talked about. but we dealt more with the physical aspect. We're gonna get more into the spiritual aspect of what they plan on doing with this transhumanism. Transhumanism theory is the science and the technology that can help human beings develop beyond what is physically and mentally possible at the present time. Transhumanism assert that with all the new technologies available, mankind will be able to solve every challenge it faces. Article No Death and the Enhancement of Life is the Future Transhuman by Robin McKee, science editor. That's once they killed off 8 billion people off the planet Earth, and only about 1,500,000,000 to 1 billion people survive. This is their plan. Right? Remember, these are eugenists that you're messing with. Sunday, 6 May 2018. The aim of the transhumanistic movement is summed up by Mark O'Connell in his own To Be a Machine. It is their belief that we can and should eradicate aging as the cause of death, that we can and should be technology to augment our bodies and our minds, that we could and should merge with machines, remaking ourselves finally in the image of our own higher ideals. The idea of technologically enhancing our bodies is not new, but the extent to which humanists take the concept is, in the past, we have devices such as a wooden leg, hearing aids, specular, or false teeth. In future, we might use implants to augment our senses we can detect infrared or ultraviolet radiation directly or boost our cognitive processes by connecting ourselves to the memory chips. Ultimately, by merging man and machine, science will produce humans who have vastly increased intelligence, strength, and lifespans, a near embodiment of God's. Is this ideology true? No. There is an end game in which that not even have to manipulate perception. By connecting your brain to AI, artificial intelligence, you will become subhuman, not superhuman, and definitely not like God. In fact, you will become post-human. That is the idea. In other words, you will not be human any longer. You will not be an Anunnakian any longer. You will not be a Syrian being any longer. You will be a artificial person. Hence, like the Tin Man on the Golden Walkway in the Wizard of Oz. You would be like the Straw Man. You'd be looking for a brain. You'd be looking for a heart, like the Tin Man. Artificial entities, artificial persons, corporations. They'll turn you into a corporation because AI will do more and more of human thinking until human thinking, as we know it, is negligible and basically disappears. In other words, the human mind will be the AI mind. So what we call human just becomes literally a computer terminal on an AI internet. So I spoke about earlier here the soul catcher chip. Well, let's get into the soul catcher chip. A new memory chip for the brain. British Telecom is developing a chip that will extend memory in humans. Where was this? July 18th, 1996. That was 30 years ago, y'all. You don't think they've mastered it by now? Scientists from British Telecom Laboratories today announced a memory chip for the human brain. Not kidding. At a presentation from Yorkshire Post newspaper, BT scientists say that the chip would attach directly to the optical nerve and store incoming sensory impulses that could then be downloaded and played on a computer or implanted into someone else's memories. Hold on, what movie have I seen like that? I think it was called Carbon. Carbon-based? Anthony Mackie played the character, the second incarnation of the Carbon based television show. He played that. Interesting. Yeah. A sleeve, as they refer to it as. You got money for bio engineered body, and we'll place a chip in there and we'll make it look exactly like you. See, this is the shit that they doing and that they want to do. Continue on. Yeah, it's far-fetched as it seems. They even assigned it to appropriately G Wiz product moniker of Soul Catcher 2025. Oh, that was last year. As well as some fairly detailed specifications. The 2025 reference to the year the scientists think that the idea would become a reality. Of course they do. A lifetime experience could be stored in about 10 terabytes, according to Peter Cochran, head of advanced applications and technologies for BT. I tend to think of the computer now as my third lobe, says Cochran, who assert that integrating actual circuitry into the human brain is the next logical step. It is, isn't it? As they correlate this information to Elon Musk, i.e. DARPA, i.e. the government of the United Snakes of America. Cochran insisted that the BT is taking the project seriously, perhaps leading some of the questions what company's executive already has this in their heads. Elon Musk. The phone company has invested 267 million pounds, about 400 million, in his laboratory or lab and a playground for futurists and their inventions. BT and the phone companies are not different from any other telephone company in the world, but they do have their advanced applications laboratories, which they think up great thoughts, says Ben Rooney, editor for the Daily Telegraph Weekly Connected section. Hold on, if I'm not mistaken, I could have sworn that this was just talked about by Master Student Brother Crumb. How they would want to turn you into the telephone. I think we saw that commercial. Some analysts don't think that is a joke either. Explain that the Soul Catcher project is just one possible application of the BT lab research. The larger reason for devolving into artificial life research is the hope that BT can create communications networks modeled on the most complex networks of all, the human brain. Oh, that's 6G, what we just talked about. 6G. G looks like a 6. 6. What's the other 6? Oh, 666. Oh, we'll get to the other 6. Okay. 666. The research will help scientists apply the complex organic routing mechanisms found in the human brain to networking and internet problems, said Stefan Somogyi, senior editor of industry newsletter Digital Media. Some of the most complex technological problems out there today involve routing and switching algorithms. This project is a very small part of the total effort, agreed Cochran. In the intervening 30 years between now and the potential deliverance of the Soul Catcher, he predicts that the BT directly brain links research will develop much simpler and potential life-saving devices. Right now, you have a Xerox machine that rings up for your help. All the Coke dispensaries and candy bar machines in England are wired so that they let you know when to top them off. Cochrane says the research that is contributing to the soul catcher will also span pacemaker chips that alert wearers on nearby hospitals of an imminent heart failure or constant monitoring the blood sugar levels of diabetics and release insulin into the bloodstream is necessary, he says. Now, Billy Carson revealed that scientists at Microsoft had developed the first DNA hard drive. 1 gigabyte of DNA can store 433 petabytes of data. So it was discovered that it could store digital bits of zeros and ones in information like the movie Matrix. Hence, these Microsoft scientists are now able to develop a DNA hard drive, which was the biggest limitation on transferring consciousness. So now technology exists with the capacity of transferring consciousness into a storage capacity, and then with now the creation of the ability to create avatars for the stem cells. They can literally take a skin cell from the body, put it under the right chemical conditions in the laboratory, creating a clone of you up to whatever age specified, and then transfer your consciousness from your body and mind into the new avatar. From the year 2015 to 2020, 2045.com would be like create and supply the world with affordable Android avatars that will be controlled by the system that links people's brain with computers. 2015 to 2020. But what happened between then? Oh, in 2029, going into 2020, we had what's called the pandemic. Then 2020 to 2025. That would be like to create an autonomous life support system in which that a human brain can be taken out of a body and kept alive while being linked to a robotic avatar. Their hope is that a person whose body is failing them can live a full life. (2030, 2035). The group at 2045.com wishes to create immortality by building a computer model of the brain that allows human consciousness to be transferred into an artificial carrier, giving everyone the possibility of cybernetics immortality. 2045. By this date, 2045.com, we would be like, we have to establish a new era for humanity in which that the technological brain, and transfer minds. So this is the reason for all of the following movies, to get you used to the idea, but understand that this is what the Eurocentric idea that only 500 million will be on planet Earth. Maintaining humanity under 500 million is perpetually balanced with nature. At least this is what they feel. Was the Illuminati eugenics model chiseled in stone? Strangely enough, the Georgia Guidestones, which was blown up a couple years ago, were bombed and destroyed in 2002. So 3 years ago. Well, now 4 years ago. Surviving 42 years since 1980. A man using the pseudo Robert C. Christian approached the Urban granite finishing company to build the guide stone in 1979. So we see the movies here: Artificial Intelligence, Ghost Shells, Matrix, Ex Machina, iRobot, Singularity, Her. Okay. Then we have all the actual clones. This is a person who have been grown from a test lab called in vitro or implanted womb, which has the identical genetic makeup to another person. And identical twin, so to speak, in terms of genetic makeup. The genetic coding has reproduced, and a new person who is an identical twin is now in existence. Doubles or lookalikes. There is an ongoing program to find lookalikes for predominant people, as well as a program to create secret identical twins, which are separated at birth and now and never see each other. Former CIA operative, chief of disguise, explains how spies use disguises. These realistic human masks look like they are straight out of a Mission Impossible movie. We've seen Trump masks, not Trump, but somebody mask was being messed up. The last president, Biden, Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, as he's called. His mask was being messed up, and you can see that it was lifted up around the neck area. All right, but anyway, Sofia Vergara is in a skin mask dressed up as Emma Watson. The chip above it actually from the advertisement from Maskon, an online store specializing in full face and torso silicone masks. A YouTuber user who goes by the name of Curveball B uploaded this CGI chip, and that's all they know. We have personally seen all actual entities living and working through people, and they had no idea. And all the work while feeding upon their energies. Not to mention that in this day and age, there is graphite oxide and nanotechnology in the food, air and water supplies, which I explained further in chapter 13. This nanotechnology is activated by the 5G and other negative frequencies, and which also is responsible for a lot of mastermind control. These entities are living through too many empty vessels. That's why it's important to keep cleansing on all levels: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, and not allow just anyone to enter into your sacred space or temple. All right. So you go to justice.gov, Washington, D.C., a document included in the Department of Justice. Later, Epstein-related files contain more than extreme and unfound claims alleging that Joe Biden was shot and killed in 2019 and replaced by a body double wearing a mask. The text, which appeared as part of a raw, unverified submission, was the broader department document, dump, describing the current president as an actor with a mask and advises conspiracy theories involving clones and execution by firing squad. The claims are present without evidence and are not supported by any official findings. Department of Justice has not indicated the material. All right, material reflect verified information. Epstein files release includes large volumes of all right. So let's look at this. These individuals use masks. They also are what we call actual clones. There's also doubles. There's also organic robotoids, androids, or robots. But we have personally seen all actual entities living and working through people, and they had no idea. And all the while feeding upon their energies. We made mention of this already. The movie Matrix with Morpheus holding up the not Duracell, but the battery. Yeah, Duracell battery. Not to mention that in this day and time or age, there is graphite oxide, nanotechnology in the food, air, water supply. You know, so all of that is there. All right. This is coming from the Epstein file. It was in there. Maritime law is coming, and the selling and owning of humans and human souls is over. There is factual evidence on the methods of operation for the law, and legal proceedings will work next. I encourage you to watch the video and understand the common law are going away. So quit fiddling your boom thing and call and who you have such information or info that will incriminate you, and that when he deleted, he'll find it on the quantum system that this great gentleman had made it very clear in the video above. All right, Biden is not your current president. This is what it said now. The mass malfunctions on Biden are getting worse each day on purpose. This will end badly for such and such who is posing with a fucking clone on Facebook. The dude playing Biden ain't Biden. Real Biden was a evil, sick, angry man who abused children, including his own children. That's an actor with a fucking mask. Would have been all over this 1,000 times. It never's going to change. Biden is shot. 2019 firing squad. All right. Epstein files. Biden was killed and replaced by clone in 2019. The newly released transit of documents linked to the Epstein Files Transparency Act involve emails claiming that former United States President Joe Biden was killed in 2019 and replaced with a clone. The material are part of a large release to unclassified Department of Justice records and contain correspondence from someone identified as Charles. These messages appeared among third-party communication gathered during broader federal investigations related to Jeffrey Epstein network. Unlike others disclosing the focus of documents linking between Epstein and a political or business figures, these emails contain high conspiratorial accusations. All right. The message will follow with the FBI in April 2021 by a redacted sender who described the writer as a disgruntled former technology employee or associate. The text reference is those quantum technologies. All right. Secret military tribunals and claims that the Biden is not your current president, but provides no supporting evidence. All right. You look here. This is Joe Biden when he came into office. And this is Joe Biden as he was leaving office. You can't tell me that these are two of the same individual. His little eyes is more beady. All right. His eyes is more beady. As you can see here. The bags are going under the eyes. The ears is attached on the one to the left. I mean, it's unattached to the one to the left, the one to the right, they are attached. Mass malfunctions. Joe Biden's unusual chin has people coming up with conspiracy theories. October 20th, 2023. Joe Biden's unusual chin has people making their own conspiracy theories. Read this to know more. United States Joe Biden lists an awkward movement or moment seem to be never ending. The United States frequently making headlines for these human errors as people question his cognitive abilities. Robot malfunction. Now Biden is the headlines again, and this time it's because of uncanny shape of his chin. He has managed to spark conspiracy theories after his chin after he addresses the Israeli-Hamas conflict. A couple of videos in which that are going viral on the social media shows Biden speaking to the reporters. Well, what did Trump say about it? Trump wrote this. There is no Joe Biden executed in 2020 Biden clone doubles or robotic engineered soulless mindless entities are what you see. Democrats don't know the difference. Epstein file reveals alleged pandemic planning discussed with Bill Gates. Newly released documents fuel speculation about elite involvement in COVID-19, but officials say stimulations are planning or standard planning tools. Simulations are standard planning tool. February 25th, 2026 by Ben Kaplan. All right, so let's look at it. Newly released documents from Jeffrey Epstein case has sparked intense speculations online about alleged discussions between Epstein and Microsoft founder Bill Gates regarding pandemic planning. An email from March 20, 2015 with the subject line, preparing for the pandemic, has fueled claims that the two men are plotting a global health crisis. Though public health experts say pandemic simulations are common preparedness exercises, not predictions. Now, once again, you believe that? I got a bridge to sell your ass. All right, yeah, we got a bridge to sell you. If you believe that. All right, say just lodge on. Peace, peace, peace. Clones like Tyrone. That's right. Clones like Tyrone. All right. Doppelgangers. Yep. Yeah, Jim Carrey, he has a clone. Yeah, that's what they saying. Yep. So this is what is going on, y'all. You know. All right. Hopefully, y'all learned something from these two presentations, and you know, shit is crazy. All right. So as you can see, the soul catcher chip was part of the information on which that was not talked about during the presentation with me and Brother Crumb. So that's why I had to go and do this, because the soul catcher chip is very important, because they're taking the soul or the memories, the life experiences from out of one person, and they can actually insert it into another person or into a sleeve, or what is called an android, robotoid, or robotic / clone / whatever the case is, someone else that's not you. And we already seeing proofs of these types of things, because we see the movie they brought out during the time when Jamie Foxx allegedly got poisoned, by P. Diddy, and he ended up in the hospital, cloning Tyrone. And then we see also Jim Carrey this past week or last week, in which that comes out of nowhere, and the eye colors are different. He got a lot of Botox or whatever he got going on, and and just people was like, this doesn't act like him. This isn't it. So and plus the pandemic show forth these clones, as well as also all of this other information concerning CERN from what we did last week, and now this week with the surveillance, 6G surveillance, so that's what's going on. Oh yeah, Trump's got clones too. Oh yeah, definitely. All right, y'all. We out. Peace.